OpenClaw started as a messaging agent on your phone. 60 days later, it's walking warehouse floors, conducting cargo audits, and adjusting search and rescue strategies in real time inside a Unitree robot, with no human operator issuing commands. On March 5th, DeepMirror made that official, and the implications go well beyond robotics. DeepMirror, a Hong Kong AI robotics company, announced full integration of OpenClaw into their physical AI stack on Unitree hardware. The core problem they solved: LLMs are great at planning, but fall apart the moment that plan needs to execute in the physical world. OpenClaw is the bridge between reasoning and action, and this deployment is the first time that bridge has been extended from the digital layer into real physical space. Every robotics engineer working with large language models has hit the same wall. You give the model a goal: audit this warehouse section, flag anomalies, report results, and the LLM produces a brilliant, detailed plan. Step 1, approach section A. Step 2, scan inventory. Step 3, cross-reference against database. Step 4, generate report. Clean, logical, exactly right. Then the robot starts executing. Sensor data comes in differently than expected. An obstacle appears that wasn't in the plan. A hardware safety constraint kicks in mid-sequence. And the LLM, which was designed to generate text, not to operate inside a real-time control loop, has no mechanism to handle any of it gracefully. The reasoning layer and the action layer have always been separate systems with no clean interface between them. You either run a scripted, hard-coded behavior tree that's reliable but inflexible, or you run an LLM that's adaptive but unpredictable. There has been no middle ground. DeepMirror's integration uses OpenClaw as the translation layer between those two worlds. Here's how the architecture works. Natural language intent enters OpenClaw, the same way it would in a standard messaging workflow. OpenClaw processes the intent through its reasoning layer and generates a sequence of verified robot skill calls. Those skill calls are validated against the Unitree hardware's capability constraints before any motion begins. The Unitree hardware executes the validated skill sequence, feeds real-time sensor data back into the OpenClaw context window, and OpenClaw adjusts the next skill call based on what the robot is actually seeing and experiencing. The loop is continuous. The adjustment is real-time. The reasoning is genuinely adaptive, not scripted. The result is what DeepMirror calls a self-sufficient physical agent, a single robot unit that can conduct a full cargo audit, scanning, cross-referencing, reporting, without a human issuing a command for each individual action. A search and rescue unit that can adjust its area coverage strategy in real time based on survivor detection priority, without waiting for a human operator to update the mission parameters. An anomaly detection system that doesn't just flag what it finds, but reasons about whether the anomaly is within normal variance or requires immediate escalation. DeepMirror frames their partnership with Unitree in precise terms that are worth quoting directly. Unitree provides the physical capital: the body, the motors, the sensors, the actuators. DeepMirror provides the economic soul: the reasoning intelligence that makes that physical capital maximally productive. OpenClaw is the connective tissue between the two. That framing matters because it positions OpenClaw not as a feature of the robot, but as a layer of intelligence that sits above the hardware and can, in principle, work with any sufficiently capable physical platform. The Unitree integration is the first deployment, not the only one. If the architecture works, and early results suggest it does, every robotics hardware platform becomes a potential OpenClaw deployment target. The broader signal here is the one that should interest anyone watching where AI is heading in 2026. OpenClaw's architecture, tools, skills, context window, natural language interface was designed for digital workflows. It turns out that architecture is general enough to extend to physical systems without fundamental redesign. The same agent that manages your inbox can, with the right skill layer, manage a warehouse floor. That generality is the most important thing DeepMirror's announcement reveals. The security and governance conversation around OpenClaw just got significantly more complex. Every concern that corporate security teams have about OpenClaw running on a developer's laptop, root access, unpredictable tool chaining, difficulty auditing what the agent actually did, applies with much higher stakes when the agent has a physical body and is operating in a real environment. A rogue OpenClaw agent with access to your email is a data breach, A rogue OpenClaw agent in a warehouse with access to physical infrastructure is a different category of problem entirely. This is also where Lobster's deterministic pipeline model becomes directly relevant to physical AI. The same approval gate mechanism that halts a digital workflow before sending an email can in principle halt a physical workflow before the robot executes a high-risk maneuver. The same audit trail that logs every digital pipeline execution can log every physical action sequence. DeepMirror hasn't announced Lobster integration yet, but the architectural fit is obvious, and the safety case for it in a physical context is even stronger than in a digital one. OpenClaw went from your WhatsApp to a robot body in 60 days. That is not a product milestone. It is a signal about what kind of infrastructure OpenClaw is becoming. The same reasoning layer, the same skill architecture, the same natural language interface, now walking, seeing, and acting in the physical world. Subscribe for ongoing coverage as physical AI deployments expand. Hit like if this changed how you think about what OpenClaw actually is, and drop a comment telling me, what industry do you think gets physical AI agents first?